everything is quantum physics, and there's no separation between the physical universe and the mental universe. There is no separation. We think that when people starve in Africa, that I in America have no deal with it. We don't understand that we are connected. But for most people not to be able to see, to realize it. But the physical and mental world is connected on basis of quantum physics. You're doing?
Hey, Norbert. It's so nice to have you on the show today. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks a lot for having me. I'm very pleased to be with you.
Beautiful, and thank you so very much for being here. You see, I truly appreciate you. And you see, my man, oftentimes I love to thank my guest for two things. And I do this so often to the point where it has become my anthem. So, firstly, Norbert, I want to say thank you so very much for investing in yourself. You see, my man, you are on this platform right now because you did invest it in yourself. And oftentimes, Norbert, I love to make reference to the amazing mango tree. Let's say some couple of months back, Norbert, I was on a particular road, and just by the roadside, my man, there was this very tall, unattractive mango tree. And I use the word unattractive because the mango tree's got no mangoes on it, and the leaves were all dry. So I just walked past it and I went my way. But you see, Norbert, just recently I was on that same road. And this time around, a lot's changed about the mango tree, you see. The mango tree caught my attention pretty good from a distance. And immediately I got the urge to move so close to it, of which I did, and it wowed me. Because now the mango tree's got a lot of mangoes on it. Beautiful green leaves and healthy branches. And not just mangoes now, Norbert. I'm talking about ripe mangoes. It was such a lovely experience that day, and I was so excited. Here is my point. The fact that you dedicated your time, energy, and resources to becoming the amazing Norbert that you are today, that alone has made it impossible for me to skip you. And that's why you got the request from me to be on the show, because I was attracted to the fruit of all that you're doing, your philosophies, your insight, the impact your work is having, and how you are offering your solutions, my man. These stuffs are beautiful. And just before I sent you that request, my man, I said to myself, I've got to benefit from these beautiful things Norbert is doing. And not only me now, because I don't want to be selfish, and even with the audience. And here we are today with the amazing Norbert. So thank you so very much for doing that to yourself. And secondly, thank you for saying yes to the invite. Because if you had said nope, there was nothing Elisha could do about it. Thanks so much, Norbert.
Elijah, I couldn't refuse, and you're too kind. You're too generous with your compliments. I don't deserve that.
Oh, you do, my man. You do 1,000 times. And thank you so very much for being here once again. So let's get started. You see, I am quite excited to have you on the show today, Norbert, for some reasons. Firstly, my interest in knowledge seeking. I believe in order for one to transition from a terrible situation to that of a beautiful one, Norbert, I believe it takes the application of knowledge, quality information, and not just knowledge alone, but the application of it. And you see, my man, ever since I discovered that light in the Hebrew means knowledge and darkness ignorance, I've been so keen to knowledge seeking. Why? Because I do not want to remain in the dark. So that's going to make our conversation today very important to me and even to the listeners. And the second reason why I'm excited to have the incredible Norbert on the show is for the sake of the audience. You see, my man, we live in an age where information is as abundant as grains of sand. We've got lots of information flying out there. So these folks trust me for quality, eye-opening, and very important information, of which I am totally convinced, my man, that our conversation is going to be impactful and insightful. So for that reason, my man, let's get started with your introduction. Talk to us about your personal or your professional journey, because right now we are so curious. We want to know how Norbert got here. Then afterwards, I've gotten some beautiful questions for you. Okay, Norbert, my man, over to you.
Well, I'm a German entrepreneur, an inventor, life and health coach, an author, and I moved 25 years ago to America, where I live with my family. And I'm working a lot, traveling a lot. So I'm trying to help to contribute to improve life on this planet. And as you said about knowledge, I have a standard sentence which says, knowledge makes no sense if you don't share it.
So true. Knowledge makes no sense if you don't share it. And I got that. And that's a beautiful one, man. Okay, so I've got some questions here, my man. Are you ready for me?
Sure, all the time.
All right, Norbert. So you've traveled to 39 countries. What experience abroad shaped your career the most?
Well, I never planned to travel 39 countries. It just happened over the years, right? It just happened through various reasons. Meeting people, conferences, exhibitions, trade shows, visiting, making friends. Now, what I realized that most people on this universe share the same fears and the same hopes. And they all need basically the same solutions to their mental and health problems.
Can you say that again? I want to get that right.
Well, when I traveled those countries, at the end of the day, I realized that most people share the same fears and they share the same hopes, regardless your color, your skin, your country you're living, your language. And all these people need basically the same solutions to their mental and health problems they're having. So I don't differentiate between countries and colors and languages. From the bird's eye view, we are the same, and we have the same hopes and fears and the same problems.
That's profound. So we all share the same fears and the same hopes. We're struggling from the same problem. Wow. Okay, that's a fantastic discovery, and I got that. So what was it like building companies across Germany, Taiwan, China, Hong Kong, and the USA?
The same thing again, I never planned to do that. It just developed, it just happened to be like that. Of course, I'm a German. I started with my company in Germany. When I started these companies in various countries, it was a natural development because of circumstances. One led to another over time. Each company was a big adventure and would be worth it to write a book about it. But I only realized after that it was so adventurous. It was over time just a part of my life and what I would normally do. It just happened to be this way.
So how did living and working among the Chinese for over 30 years or for 30 years influence your worldview? So you did spend 30 years among the Chinese?
Yes, my former wife is Chinese. I had in China and Taiwan my second or third home. I traveled all the time between Europe, at this time Germany, and China and Asia. And I experienced a stronger relationship within families. And I'm pretty sure that counts the same for the African people, where the individual has less importance than the greater goods of the family. So that was a beautiful experience, which I didn't experience so much in our traditional Western wide world. But as well, I experienced a lot in China, in mainland China, and I left mainland China with the idea, never go there again. That's a story on its own, a very intense story on its own, but never go to mainland China again.
Wow, that's a story on its own. Okay, there was this part I'm curious about. Okay, having companies across diverse countries, how are you able to manage all of these stuff? Hope you're not getting stretched thin.
Well, when you're active, regardless, you always stretch yourself thin, okay? Because there are targets to be done. things which have to be accomplished. But then again, when you're self-motivated, you just do it because for the fruits of the success. And I was very fortunate enough to surround myself with good people. It all comes down to good people. No matter how big your company is and where you are, if people working with you are not good, you'll never make it. And if you don't create the emotional relationship, you cannot be successful, especially not across different continents and different languages and different countries. So the miracle is good people. I like to stretch myself thin because otherwise I wouldn't accomplish what I do.
Being surrounded by good people. I got that. I got that. Okay, so what sparked your interest in Chinese medicine and later quantum-based technologies?
Well, the Chinese medicine, as I say, traditional Chinese medicine I witnessed is based on non-toxic chemicals, what we have a lot in the Western world. By the way, Chinese medicine was only developed over thousands of years for the dynasties of emperors, not for the common people. Common people had no access to Chinese medicine. The
Whoa.
emperors forever. So they financed for over thousands of years the development of Chinese medicine. To find 400 acupuncture points in your body took hundreds and thousands of years. So the Chinese medicine was just working. I witnessed it was working, and it was working very smooth, very nice. And again, without chemicals, based on certain basics which they found in Chinese medicine. So that was a big inspiration for me. And I could see the difference to the Western world, which is very arrogant. Western medicine doctors are very arrogant.
Whoa.
Now, quantum
I never knew
physics,
that, my man.
what did you never know?
Go
That
on, please.
they're arrogant? Oh, yeah, they're arrogant. A typical Western medical doctor will not get into traditional Chinese medicine because he thinks what he studied in university covers what he needs to know, and he doesn't know what he's missing. While Chinese medicine has adopted a lot of from the Western medicine. Chinese medicine, you could not operate a person, no surgery. In traditional Chinese medicine, no surgery was allowed. You could not cut the body open. And so they learned a lot from us with surgeries and with dentistry. But we were not willing, when I say we, I mean in general, the Western doctors were not willing to study Chinese medicine. And if they would do so, in a book I'm actually writing, I'm saying that in my opinion, every Western doctor of medicine would have to study on university Chinese medicine to be successful.
Amazing, I got that. So you see, there's this thing you said that I'm curious about. You mentioned to never return to China, and there is this story behind it. Can you talk to us about that?
I'm afraid we will run out of time if we dig into this. I'm not denying your questions, but we have only a short amount of time, and to talk about China is an extra show on its own. But basically, it comes down to the bottom line to the corruption in mainland China is just too big.
Corruption.
And the pollution is just crazy.
Corruption is too big and the pollution is just crazy. Amazing. Okay, so can you explain one of your quantum physics based inventions in simple terms?
Okay. Quantum physics was discovered by my countryman, the German physicist Max Planck, in the year of 1900. And it was so revolutionary that he was laughed at from the entire physics industry because it was so crazy, as they said. Until this moment, in the physical world, you separated between rays or waves. Everything in physics is rays or waves. And Max Planck discovered it can be both at the same time, which everyone found ridiculous. And it took 18 years till they honored him the Nobel Prize for his findings. So in quantum physics, the world is based on quantum physics. You and me and what we do and where we live and how we live is based on quantum physics. Quantum physics is basically the smallest subatomic particles in this world. What is important to know, to take away from this sentence here? Everything is quantum physics, and there's no separation between the physical universe and the mental universe. There is no separation. We think that when people starve in Africa, that I in America have no deal with it. We don't understand that we are connected. For most people not to be able to see, to realize it. But the physical and mental world is connected on basis of quantum physics. So I'll give you an example how I work with quantum physics. Every product on this world has its own frequency. Every orange, every apple, every banana, everything has its own unique frequencies, like you have your own fingerprints. We have all unique fingerprints, right? We know 8 billion fingerprints, right? Now we know, meanwhile, 8 billion eyes. When I go through customs nowadays in the airport, they don't look at my fingerprints anymore. Within a split second, they check my eyes and they know it's me. So we have 8 billion people, individual fingerprints. And 8 billion people have their own individual frequency. You have your own frequency. I have my own frequency. It's a very short version I give you now, but telepathy is possible because I know your frequency. So when I give seminars, I prove to the audience that I transfer energy from me to another person in the room. So this is only possible because of quantum physics, because there are frequencies. If I know your frequency, I can communicate with you in telepathy, which needs some practice, no question. So if you now know that everything has its own frequency, now let's say in my technology where I deal with water, I've invented some products to make water drinkable again, which most water is not. So in the water are substances. Let's say there is chlorine in the water, right? It's just one example. You can take others. And this chemical is harmful to you. In my technology, I know which frequency chlorine has, and I can nullify that frequency in quantum physics. Not the chlorine substance, physical substance is dangerous, but its frequency. Like you take a venomous snake. The snake is not dangerous, but the venom, the tooth. So if I pull the tooth from the venomous snake, the snake is no more dangerous. Dangerous is then, at the end of the day, the frequency in the water of substances, and my technology allows me to nullify this frequency, so physical particle is still in the water, but it has no more health impact. That's a quick crash course, maybe a bit too.
Wow. And that's so beautiful. I got that. There is no separation between the physical world and the mental world. Everything has its own frequency, even the fruits that we do eat.
And intertwined. That's the
Hmm,
point. It's
intertwined. Wow. And according to what you said, we are all connected. These are deep and profound words, Norbert. And thank you so
well,
very much for sharing them. Yeah, please go ahead.
sure. And in my seminars, in my live seminars and workshops, I demonstrate this to the people so they don't have to believe me. It's not abstract. It's not just talking. They physically see how it happens, how it works. And on this basis, I have developed different technologies. You may know that electromagnetic radiation, as used in cell phones and Wi-Fi, is harming the body. Every third person in the moment dies of cancer. Every third person. Why is that? To my philosophy, the main reason for this cancer rate is electromagnetic radiation, the use of cell phones and Wi-Fi, because it kills the body, right? So this is all existing frequencies. And if we understand frequencies, then we understand how to handle them, that they don't harm us anymore.
Amazing. You see, you said something about water that that is so concerning. The part where you mentioned that most water is not drinkable. What do you mean by that?
Yeah. Well, we have on our planet what we call pristine water, the water we originally drank for, let's say, 100,000 years. Up to 200 years ago, 100,000 years, mankind, we drank pristine, original water. And I have a special show, if you're interested in, about how do I judge what is healthy water. And there are some parameters how to judge that. And most of the water is not healthy. You have to rehabilitate the original structure of water like it used to be. Some people have access to real healthy water through certain places, through certain locations, through certain wells. Some people, but the majority not.
Amazing. I got that. So let us talk about your book briefly because we don't have enough time. So we're going to break this episode into two parts. Then in the second part, we talk more about your book. But just briefly, okay, what inspired you to write your book on coffee addiction and caffeineism?
Okay, 40 years ago, I was very sick, close to die, and the doctor saved my life. And the doctor was specialized 40 years ago in food addiction and food intolerance, which is not the same, sometimes intertwined. And he saved me within 2 weeks. And I decided as an adult management consultant to do an internship with this doctor. Every year, every day, I worked with him except Christmas and Sundays. And what I learned in this year changed my life, my point of view of life, and my career and my work. So, and I saw then that people, basically, I could almost say everybody has an addiction to certain foods and certain beverages. Most of them are not aware of it. And then I saw the mechanics of alcoholics with whom I work, that they were having problems with alcohol. And then I found that people who drink caffeine have similar problems, same reactions like an alcoholic. And the problem is that in my philosophy, there's sugar and caffeine are the widest spread drugs in the world. When we talk about drugs, we talk about typical cocaine and alcohol and so on, right? But the widest spread drugs in the world, which are legal, that makes them dangerous, is sugar and caffeine, because there is no law, no limitation. And I prove in my book that caffeine is a drug and sugar is a drug. So then I discovered this and I said, okay, I have to explain to people what they're up against because they're addicted. I give an example. What is addiction? I had a thesis that you can be addicted to 3 Ps. You can be addicted to P like a product, typically alcohol, cocaine. You can be addicted to a process, another P, and you can be addicted to a person. These are the 3 areas of life you can be addicted to it, which I explain in the book. So when you're addicted, which is nothing else than your free will to say no to the addiction is not strong enough. You don't have a free will to say no. The addiction runs your life and you don't run the life yourself in certain areas. So I wrote the book to make people understand that caffeine is the widest spread drug in the world besides sugar, because caffeine you don't have only in coffee, but you have it in white tea, in green tea, in black tea, in most soda pops, and of course in these famous dangerous energy drinks. They're all full of caffeine, and more in snacks they put caffeine in. And caffeine makes you addicted. There's no question.
Caffeine makes one addicted. I got that. Illegal drugs, caffeine and sugar, because there is no limitations placed on them. Okay, I got that. So what made you realize your true calling in helping people improve their health?
Well, I didn't first know that I had a calling. I just did what I thought I have to do, which I felt like I have to do, right? Then looking back, you can realize, oh, that was a calling this day, this day, this day. At the age of 3, first time I left my body, I had an out-of-body experience. And I saw a previous life I lived. And the age of 10, it repeated again, and the age of 16. And then I saw alternative medicine. And I found that in alternative medicine was more basic truth than in traditional medicine. So I just was interested in. I was just interested in to learn. And that's the biggest motivation, to learn and then to apply it and then to offer it to people. So I developed different technologies, different products, for example, to protect you from the danger of cell phones, to rehabilitate the water you're drinking. I found that tattoos are harming your body and are as well a basic cause for cancer. Tattoos became very fashionable all over the world. Piercings harm your body, but people don't know that. These are all things which are entertaining. We live in a society, people want to be entertained, sexy, rock and roll, fluffy, and have fun. That's okay. But if the fun works against nature, then it's not okay.
I tell you, a lot of people are pretty ignorant. And That's because we trust the systems of the world. Because when I firstly discovered that caffeine is so dangerous, I began to wonder, why are these companies who make energy drinks, why are they putting these stuffs inside of it? Are they ignorant of the effect? They
No,
know how
they
dangerous it is too.
they want you to be addicted. You see, if you look at 99% of all products in commercials which are advertised, which go through your mouth, 99% of these products are all addictive. What is advertised? Coffee, alcohol, tobacco, pharmaceutical products, sweets, sugar products, fast food. And these companies are not stupid. If Coca-Cola invests $10 million for advertising, they get $100 million back. And everyone who started to drink Coke and enjoy it, he has a customer for life. Or should I say, Coca-Cola has a victim for life. These people keep consuming it because it's addictive. So it's addiction. It's making money. Look at the coffee business in the world, caffeine business in the world. It's a question of money, not of ethics, not what makes sense.
Mm,
But as there are no
because when
laws,
mm, because when one becomes addicted to it, you keep taking it all the time, and they keep making money all the time. Wow, that's pretty sad, I tell you. So, Norbert, to bring this to an end, what would you like to leave the audience with, like a final thought? And to those folks who would like to reach out to you, learn more about the wonderful stuff you're doing, make a purchase of your wonderful book, or even ask you questions, how can that be possible?
I have a website which is easy to remember, improveyourlife.us. Improveyourlife.us, because my target is to improve lives. So you can easily remember that. On the website, you find many interviews, many talk shows, many webinars. You find my book, you find certain products which I discovered and developed, and you can ask questions. There's an email address and so on. You can contact me anytime with any questions you may have.
Beautiful. So, any final thought?
I appreciate, thank you for having me. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. And I think we're planning of having a second show where we then
Oh,
dive into
yes, most
caffeine.
definitely.
Then we dive into caffeine and I explain you why it is dangerous, and for you to find out if you are addicted or not.
I tell you, I just can't wait because a lot of people are soaked into ignorance every blessed day. They don't even know. I came across a post where that elderly man, he was trying to use his medication, and then he was trying to use it with an energy drink. And he said, that's how I've been taking my stuff for a long time, and it doesn't harm me. I'm old, I'm feeling great, I have got strength. And I'd be like, whoa, this is an expert in ignorance, you see? So thank you so very much for doing all that you're doing, to improve health and improve life. It's amazing. I truly appreciate you, my man. So that's going to be the end of the show. And watch out for part two, listeners. Robert is such a great man and he's doing a fantastic one. And we truly appreciate him. Thank you so much, my man.
Thanks for having me. Best regards. Thank you. Thank you.